My friend went missing on a mountain biking trip, and I think someone took him. I don't know how to process what happened. One moment we were riding together, laughing, and the next, he was just gone. It started as a weekend mountain biking trip. Just me and my best friend, Kyle. We'd been riding trails for years, but this time we wanted something more remote. We found an old, less-traveled trail deep in the mountains. We started early in the morning, following a winding path through thick trees and rocky hills. The first few miles were perfect, challenging but beautiful. We stopped for water and took pictures. We didn't know that was a bad thing. The first sign is something was wrong. A few hours in, we found something weird. An old, rusted-out pickup truck abandoned off the trail. It had no plates, no windows, just sitting there, half swallowed by the forest. Kyle, always the curious one, wanted to check it out. I told him to leave it alone. It felt wrong. Like it hadn't been touched in years, but also like someone still used it. He shrugged it off and we kept riding. Then maybe 20 minutes later, we noticed something worse. Bike tracks. Fresh ones, which wouldn't be weird, except they weren't going forward. They started out of nowhere on the trail like someone had been dropped in. No footprints. No sign of where they came from. We stopped, confused. Kyle joked, maybe it's a ghost rider. I laughed, but something in my gut twisted. I should have trusted that feeling. Kyle disappears. Not long after, we hit a steep downhill. Kyle went first. He was always faster. He rounded a sharp bend, disappearing from view for just a second. When I got there, he was gone. His bike? Gone. No crash sounds. No distant, I'm okay. Just silence. I called out nothing. I pulled out my phone. No service. I started down the trail fast, scanning for any sign of him. But the trail was empty. No tire marks, no broken branches, nothing. It was like he'd never been there. The cabin. I searched for hours, calling his name, riding up and down the trail. The sun started setting, and I was alone in the mountains. Just as I was about to turn back, I saw something through the trees. A cabin. It wasn't on any map. It looked abandoned, but there was a light inside. I should have left. I know that now. But I was desperate. I walked up, heart pounding, and knocked. No answer. But I heard something, a shuffle, like movement inside. I pushed the door, unlocked. Inside, it was dusty, empty, except for one thing. Kyle's backpack. I grabbed it and ran. The worst part. I barely made it back to my car before dark. I called 911 the second I got service. They searched for days, no trace of him, no sign of struggle. The weirdest part? When they checked the cabin, it was completely empty. No backpack, no light. No sign anyone had been there. Kyle is still missing. And I don't think he got lost. I think someone was watching us. And I think they took him.